Hello and welcome to Jamro's Electronic Solutions. We have a new video, as I always call it, a fresh video. Right, so what I'm doing today is to talk about a Mazda 6. This is a diesel engine. I want to talk about the EGR, a complete EGR cooler system. If you can watch my other video on BMWs, I have also spoken about this, but it's a totally different system. That's why I'm bringing this one, so that you can be aware of the electronic system and a vacuum system. So this system that we're dealing with today, it is a vacuum system. So let's go with to the components themselves. So this is the cooler, right? This water goes in, comes out, okay? And whichever way it goes, it might come in this side or go in that other side, doesn't matter. But this is our cooler. Water, coolant flows through it, okay? Why do we need coolant in an EGR cooler, right? Remember, we have exhaust gases, right? I'll show you. I'm going to build this back together. We have exhaust gases coming into the cooler and outside. And these gases are going back to the engine. These gases are inert gases. What do I mean? They are tired. We have extracted all the energy out of them. They're useless. We can't use them for anything except maybe driving the turbocharger and also for reducing emissions purposes. So when the gases come in, they get cooled so that when they go into the engine, they do not raise the temperature. Because the whole purpose of an EGR valve is to lower the combustion temperature. Remember what happens in the EGR valve, in the combustion chamber, we have nitrogen and oxygen. When they react, okay, they form oxides of nitrogen, which is a harmful gas. Okay, it could be nitrogen dioxide, it could be nitrogen monoxide. These are dangerous gases. You don't want that. So the purpose of the EGR valve, it is to lower the temperature in the combustion chamber so that there is no reaction between nitrogen and oxygen. Okay, heat is a catalyst that causes nitrogen and oxygen to come together. So the purpose of an EGR valve is to deliver exhaust gases that are cold in order to lower that temperature. It is not necessarily the cold exhaust gases that have to do with the whole process, but sending cold gases helps a lot. Let me explain on the function of exhaust gases in the combustion chamber. When the exhaust gases get into the combustion chamber, what they do, they mix with the new fresh charge that came through the air flow meter. This is good charge. And then you dilute, let's use the term dilute. You dilute the good charge with the bad charge, which is coming from the EGR valve. So the end result of that are gases that are not going to combust well. So the burning in the combustion chamber, when you mix good charge and exhaust gases, is not as good. So what that does then, it means then there's less heat produced subsequently. When you do that, there's less heat. So when you reduce that heat in the combustion chamber, it means then that nitrogen and oxygen will not come together. They'll stay in their state. So you've got no formation of nitrogen oxides, nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen monoxide. I hope that is clear. So let me come to the component again. Exhaust gases in, through here, out into the intake side, then through the inlet valve into the combustion chamber. Okay, right. So let's look at we have two systems here. We've got that part, we have this part as well. What is the purpose of that part? I think it is important, it is imperative that we talk about that part as well. So here's the thing. So during cold starting, okay, we have a bypass valve. Here is my bypass valve. I just removed it from there. I'll build this together so that the reason why I dismantled it is I just wanted to show you how it functions. I just didn't want to talk about it and assume that you understand. I wanted to show you the internals of it. So this is my bypass valve, okay? So this bypass valve is vacuum actuated. Where is the vacuum coming from? This vacuum, it comes through a solenoid, and that solenoid is actually actuated by the ECU. The ECU is the one that watches the engine temperature and other sensors as well, and then it determines that the EGR valve, so the bypass valve opens. So here is what happens. Okay, I don't know if I've got a strong. Can I suck this? I can. So remember, vacuum has got a suction effect. Okay, so once the vacuum is released, you watch what happens. I'm gonna simulate this by sucking through this pipe. It's this pipe here. Okay, you watch what happens when the vacuum is released. So you see that once that is sucked, so we have got two chambers here. There's one chamber is the one that comes through the EGR cooler. The other chamber is the one that comes through the bypass. Hence we call this a bypass valve. Okay, so you can actually see that this is how it works. EGR cooler, bypass, EGR cooler, bypass, EGR cooler, bypass. Okay, so it is important that you make sure that this component is not seized, because it might seize in one area, so that it might just end up not working in the on the other system. So hence you can actually see here we have got fins. What are the why do we have fins? Is it decoration? No, it's not. The whole idea of having fins is to track. It is to trap the air so that we can actually enhance cooling and dissipate heat as fast as possible. Also, so you have got two systems. You've got the air system dissipating heat, and you also have the water, which is the coolant, also dissipating heat. So it's a double whammy. It is a double impact. I hope this I'm explaining this clearly and articulately. So that's the valve. So you want to make sure if this vacuum valve, I do get questions sometimes. Usually, if you notice my videos, I give you on I saw a niche on the YouTube, and I took a stance to show you how things work, or to show you a good working component. What is a good working component? So I get questions most of the time. So when it's not working, what will be wrong? You know, like the figures that I've given you, if you don't get what I've given you, you get more or you get less. Something is not working. So let me go delve into something here, if that can be a question that might follow this video. Look, really appreciate questions. This pipe, if it is broken, right, we will not have the bypass valve working, because this valve, this pipe here, will not, it will leak vacuum. Okay, and if you check in here, check where the shaft goes in there. There is a diaphragm in there. If this diaphragm is punctured, if it has got a hole, the whole system, this will not work. Okay, the vacuum can be applied this side, but this shaft is not going to move, and this valve subsequently will not move either. Okay, so this is where things can go wrong. And here's the other thing that I want to talk about. I have seen this. This is difficult to diagnose. This is very, very difficult to diagnose. It is this EGR valve. It can have a puncture inside. It can have a leak, right? So you have this side going like that, okay? Everything is enclosed. It's an internal leak. You can't see it. So all that you see is the coolant is going down, but you don't know where it's going. There is no leak at all. Check if you have got an EGR valve. I'm talking about any other vehicle here. I don't care whether it's a lorry, whether it's a small van, or it's a car. I'm talking about a vehicle that employs an EGR valve cooler. So if they leak internally, that leak then comes with the exhaust gases, goes straight into the engine, okay? And you see nothing. And it just evaporates immediately as it goes into the engine. It just evaporates. You don't see anything. So what you need to do then in that case, in that event, you want to, this is the outlet, okay? I would even loosen this side and remove the bypass and look inside, okay? You may see water in here. Once you see water inside, okay, whenever you see water in there, then you know that you have a puncture in the EGR valve cooler itself. Sometimes you may just start to see water trickling out. So what you need to do if you have got a coolant pressure tester, put the coolant pressure tester, pressurize it to whatever the manufacturer has recommended. And especially with small cars, you're talking about 18 psi to 20 psi. Don't go beyond that, you end up busting the cooling system. And then when you do that, then you disconnect the EGR valve in this manner or this side. I can assure you, you'll see water trickling out. I've done it many, many times, okay? I've seen it on crafters, and customer is complaining, I don't know where the water is going, the coolant is going, I'm topping up every time, but there's no trace of a leak. It is this baby here. They do leak. If you may have another issue, let me sort of like maybe divert a little bit from an EGR valve cooler to another cooler that might leak and also take the coolant. It is the oil cooler. The oil cooler can be punctured too, but when the oil cooler is punctured, you're going to see that quickly, because when that happens, oil instead of water, oil will come into the water stream, and then the overflow bottle will be full of water. Okay, you can watch one of my short videos on that. I posted a recent video on that when oil was going into the cooling system. It's not the coolant in this case that goes into the oil, but it is, if you dip with a dipstick, you'll find that the oil in the sample will be clean, but check your overflow bottle, it will be full of oil. That's when you have another puncture that can actually affect, the coolant. In this case, it is not dropping, but you'll find that it's increasing because oil is now coming into the coolant. Okay, so let me then recap. Allow me to recap. I said to you, gases come in from the exhaust manifold in here, but when they get here, they come to this valve, which is our bypass valve, and it is this valve that determines, depending on the condition of the engine, this valve will determine which passage is going to be used between the two. It's either it is the bypass side that allows hot gases to go through, what for? To take care of condensation that can take place, okay, in the combustion chamber, because the walls might be cold and you want the engine, to be warmed up quickly, so that we bypass, we do away with condensation. That's the whole idea here. Or if we come through here, we are now saying the engine is running well, everything is going, temperature wise, we have reached the operating temperature. So now we want to cool the gases so that we don't send too hot gases into the combustion chamber. That can actually make the situation of nitrogen oxide formation worse. Right. I can take a breather here. I was talking like a machine so fast. I'm not used to talking fast. But if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. And if you've got any comments, if you have any additions, I'm actually happy, because I'm seeing other guys, they see things maybe that I would have not alluded to, and they throw them in there and say, oh, was it not supposed to be like this? And I'm going, oh wow, yes. Because you know what? I don't have notes in front of me. I'm talking from my head. So it is easy maybe to omit something that someone somewhere knows. And if I have omitted anything, feel free to come. This is our channel. It's not just my channel. This is our channel. And feel free to come and add to what I will not have alluded to. So let me put this together. Let me put this valve together, and let me see. I like to put marks, when I'm building something. You see, I put Tipex there. Oh dear. And I put Tipex there, and I put another mark there. Whenever you are dismantling things, I don't care how many years you've been in the industry, I can assure you this works. Always mark the components. You always save yourself time. Let's see, where did we mark? I hope I'm gonna put this together. Come on. Oh yeah, one. Let's go. Come on. My gasket that is not lined up properly. Let me see. Just bear with me. Wow. Small things can become. Yep. I think something is beginning to happen there. Yeah. There you go. So we can just use that to line it up. And get another one, comes the other end. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, here we go. Just want to show you the complete unit. Since it's dismantled there, just want you to see the whole. So okay, so that's us. That's how it looks like. Okay, that is how it looks like. Of course, I'm gonna put a few bolts in there, but I just wanted to show you the complete unit. Okay, that's how it looks like. Right, this is Jamro's Electronic Solutions. We are happy to give you videos that will help you in the field. Look, these things that I'm explaining here, they are not just for views so that I can get likes and stuff like that. No, these things are real. That's what we work with in our industry. So I hope you will appreciate this, and thank you very much for your support. We value your support. We value your subscription, your participation, questions, contributions. Keep them coming. We are targeting 1,000 viewers, 1,000 subscribers by the end of July. We are now 1 year old as of the end of June, and we are now targeting, we are waiting for about 300 and something subscribers. Please, guys, do us a favor, pass these videos, share them with your mates, people that you work with, your colleagues, your friends, and please try and promote us. We are a young channel, and we are just trying to do our best among so many good voices out there. And that's why we say thank you, because we didn't realize that, you know, we could be supported to the level that we are supported by you. So if you continue to support us, we'll appreciate. Thank you very much.